Hey team, in this week's video, we are going to learn how to paint the fish. It looks a little bit complicated. Also, I don't know if it looks as good in the camera, but I'm going to show you how to do the water, how to layer it, and how to just have fun and playing with color. So grab your paints and let's get started. So we're going to start with the outline, and this fish is going to have a bit of a curve because it's swimming, and that's what fish tend to do. So to make life easy, I'm just going to try go for a rounder head and then keep this back line curving and then curve the inside as well. So the fish will have like a little bit of a point over at the top, and then down at the base we want the tail to be really swishy, so we can add some curly bits there and then go around like so. Actually, I think I want to make that a bit narrower down at the base. Yeah, there we go, that's good. And then I think this is a koi carp, so we'll do, I don't know what these are called. If anybody knows, let me know. The back tail, back fins, back legs, front legs, arms. So make sure they all have a bit of a swoosh on it. And the left one, this will be a slightly more of a kite shape, because obviously that helps with the turning point. And then we will have the spine and the fin. I'm pretty sure I've nailed that one. There we go. And then we can add some eyes. So the eyes are just going outside of the head rather than inside. And then they have these little tashes. And then that'll do. We don't need to do any other outlines. Now it's just all about the fun stuff. We want to work bit by bit, because if I tried to do the whole thing, then this would dry. So instead, I'm just going to take a little section at a time, and I'm going to make it a little bit damp. So if I just spread this water out, and you can see if I move it across, it's just damp, it's not piling up with water. Then I just want to pick a blue. I'm going to add a little bit of black in there, and I'm just going to go along the side. I don't know what that hair is, it's very annoying there. And I just want that to kind of fall where it wants to. If I want to, maybe I can do some like circular motions. Get rid of this bloody hair. Okay, we'll deal with the hair when it's dry. And then I'm just going to leave it like that. So let's work into another section now. Let's move up a little bit and do the same thing here. But when you move up a section, I want you to change the color ever so slightly. You can have the water connecting, and our main goal is to make sure we see a contrast between the fish and the actual water itself. So now I'm going to go for this green, and I might just give it a touch of blue, because otherwise it's quite an ugly green. So we just dull that brightness down a bit and go around the fin. Again, I can add some swooshing motions, very technical terms this month. There we go. Maybe just like a round bit there. Let's move up into the top. So again, get it nice and damp but not soaking wet. We can connect the water. Maybe I'll go for a slightly darker green with the green. Ooh, that is nice. And I'll just get those connecting there. So my pigment isn't too strong yet. It's quite a light pigment because we're going to layer this quite a lot. So maybe I'm going to pick up a little bit of blue, mix that in, and then just let science do its thing there. So feel free to go at your own pace and just continue around the fish to try and get the base layer, a nice light layer of paint, letting colors bleed. Keep changing it as you move across. Make sure you're going around the outline of the fish. So let that dry. As always, in most of these paintings that I show you, it's all about the layering and getting those lovely layers and adding the color. So we'll let it dry and we'll come back to it in a minute, grab a cup of tea, and we'll add some more in a much thicker paint. Okay, so most of it is dry. It's a little bit damp here. You might be able to see the shine, but this is definitely dry. When I put my finger on it, it's the same temperature as the rest of the paper. If it was cold or feeling a little bit damp, then I know it's not ready. So what I want to do now is add a slightly darker layer. So let's go for dark blue and a little bit of black. I love this color so much. Let's add a touch of green as well. And then I'm going to go for a swishy motion, but this time I am not going to dampen the water. No, sorry. Weird. I'm not going to dampen the paper first. So I'm just going to try and go over this in layers, still trying to mix up those colors a bit, but this time it's wet on dry, meaning the paper is dry, my paint is wet. So be really loose and organic with this, trying to just add splodges here and there, and we will go around the whole thing again. Let's mix those two together and add our second layer. So I'll speed this up. As always, I don't want to bore you, and you probably just want to jump in and start doing it, which is what I always want to do. I'm a terrible student. I'm like, yep, got it. Let's go. So I'll let you enjoy this, and I'll see you at the end when we talk about our next layer. So another option you can do, when this is still slightly damp, so it might just have a shine on it, you can pick up some clean water and then just add a little dot of water, just kind of push that in. So what you're doing is just pushing the pigment away and adding a bit of texture. It won't always work, but sometimes it can look really, really nice. And then if you want to, you can suck up some of the juice from the side and then just let that dry. So I'm going to do this on a couple of mine now. Let's see if this one's ready. I'm just going to pick up a little bit of water, push this in. So maybe this one, push that clean water around, and then let the science happen. That should be my tagline. How to paint fish, let the science happen. This one's a little bit damp still, so I'm not sure if it'll work, but let's try it. The sound reminds me of like if you could hear fish nibble. Okay, let's try this one. There's a lot of pigment in this one, so that could be very good. Four? I don't know. Let's see. Let's spread that a bit more. And then let's see it here. Not sure about that one, but we've got some there. Let's soak some of that up. Nice. Add another little one here. And then final one. Push that right to the edge. Okay, cool. So it looks really weird at the minute because we need to do another layer, but for now we could do a little bit of the orange work down the middle. Make sure we're not going to touch any of the wet sides, so we could just do a few patches that aren't touching our previous layer, and then that should look really nice. So I'm going to mix this red and I'm just going to add a touch of orange, and then I want to make it a little bit thinner, and let's go for nice juicy bit on the head. So I think my edge is just about dry there, and this can literally be any shape at all. And then I'm going to pick up some pure red straight from the palette, dab that in because they are quite speckly, these fish. Nice. And then let's pick up a bit more color and let's go along the fin, go down there and along the spine a bit, and maybe I'll leave a little gap and go out to here. Nice. And then let's add a little belly patch over there, go up to the spine there, and maybe that's nice. Add some dashes down here, And then let's pick up some red. It's really watery, this red, and I'll just dot that in. And that's gonna add some extra dotty bits, and maybe I'll do a little bit on the face. Cool. Anything else? No, I think I'll leave it like that for now. So we'll let that dry. I think everything else is still drying, and we'll come back to that in a couple of minutes. So now that it's all dry, I'm going to do a similar thing again, trying to layer all the colours, but instead of adding a drop of clean water, I'm going to add a drop of darker pigment and just see what that happens, see if we can push the texture in a slightly different way. So let's go. Just a quick interruption. Remember, you can support me on Patreon and you can also get access to extra content. So head on over to the link in the comments where you can get access to more stuff for just £3 a month. Okay, so let's head for this area. I might do a lighter green, mixed with a little bit of light blue, and then swirly whirly. Okay, that's quite nice. And then whilst it's still wet, I'm going to pick up a little bit of dark green, just a few dots around here, and let the science happen. And let's move to this area. So I'm going to use that navy blue, just keeping it quite pure this time. Okay, nice roundy edges, and that overlayer, and then I'll pick up a tiny bit of black and blue, and a bit there as well. Cool. Let's go for this area. Now they went on just with pure colour then. Mix my colour. Dot some blue. I wonder what that'll do. That rhymed. Cool. Not against that. Whee! Don't know why I just like, yeah, this tiny little dot will make all the difference. Okay, then let's go. Ooh, still a bit wet there. Maybe I'll go this area. So I'll go blue, touch of black. Bring that all the way to the face, shall we? And then, okay, cool. I want to go in this area, I think, so I'm going to mix the green and the navy blue together. Maybe let's take that all the way to the eye. And then thicker pigment, dot, dot, dot. Cool. Down in this section, maybe just to pick up the green a bit more, mix the light and the dark green together. Let's go all the way in that corner, and then bring that down here, and I guess you can go there as if you're really behind the fish. A little scumbly thing there. And then pick up some darker green. Why not? Just throw that in there. Let it do its ting. And then let's bring some blue into this one. Nice, that's gonna look really good with the outlining the fish. I want to make sure that the edges are nice and smooth there. Cool. Okay, so we'll let that dry one more time, and then we're going to do a final wash with a similar layer to what we had at the start, just to tie everything together, because at the minute it's quite patchy. But in the meantime, what we can do is the little fins, because they're not touching anything. So all you want to do is use that previous color that you had, just make it really, really light. And then we're just going to think about the direction of each fin, and we're just going to do a few strokes. Some of them can be quite long, some of them could be quite short. Feel free to go in both directions, whether it's from the right to left or left to the right, but try not to make it too stumpy. So this one might be a little bit easier to go from the fish itself. There we go. And then we'll go up here, and then let's go around the shape on this one. Nice. And then we just have little finny bits at the top. Don't have to be precious with this. Okay, good. And then let's see now the eyes. Are they dry? Yeah, so my eyes are dry. So I'm just gonna get a really thick black straight from the pigment, and then just fill in these eyes. Don't need to bother with reflections. And one there. And then do I want to do the tash? No, I'm gonna wait for the tash. Okay, let it dry, folks. Okay, so this is actually the driest part for me at the moment. So I'm just gonna add some clean water, just like before. And then all I'm gonna do is get some color and literally just dot that on. So when it dries, it's literally gonna bring everything together. And I'm gonna pull that across here. Let's just do a dot there, see what happens with that. That one could be really rogue. There we go, splodge that around a bit. And then under the wing, I try and leave that a little bit lighter actually. Splodge some colour on. Okay, and then let's go down here. That's weird. Yeah, that was a good decision. I want to leave that light. And then a little bit of colour, a little bit of green. Nice, and then this part does look a bit weird. So let's even that out a little bit. Let's even it with whatever's on my palette, to be honest. Okay, and touch. Okay, cool. Do you know what? I'm happy with that. I think I'm going to leave this part lighter and let it dry, and I'll see if I want to do anything more to the fish. So give it a couple of minutes. I'm actually quite happy with the fish as it is, so I'm going to leave it, and the last thing I'm going to do is peel away the tape so that we can see these crisp edges, and it will just bring the piece all together. So peel off your tape and let's see how it looks. Oh, it's a little bit wet over here, so okay, it's going to be so satisfying, but also a little bit scary because you don't want to rip the paper. So peel it away from your artwork just in case it does rip, and just do it really gently. It's really nerve-wracking. Okay, good. That's one down. Now I've got to do the top one because that's the next layer. Okay, let's get this one. Oh, so satisfying. And sod's law, I rip it right at the end. Ooh, slow it down. Ooh, good. And last one. Please don't rip, please don't rip. Just try to get it. Perfect, there we go. Did forget one thing, the bloody tash. So, a little bit of black, little wibble, and the other side, little wibble, and I might just do a little sketch of the front part of the face there. Oh, do I want to do an outline? No, I don't want to do an outline. Okay, I did forget a fin as well. Not great, China. Okay, do the fin. Et voilà, le poisson de la mer. I don't know. Anyway, what do you think? So there we have it, a lovely koi carp situated in water, really fun to do, and yeah, I'm really pleased with that. So have fun, let me know how it goes, and I'll see you next time.